Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at Valley of Slaughter, one of the new 2-star dungeons. To sum it up, it's basically just Butchers 2.0 with a few changes and new boss mechanics. This dungeon does require a gear score of 2500 to get in, so keep that in mind. This boss also takes a little bit more coordination, so I would recommend running it with your guild or some friends the first time you do it, as comms are pretty important. Once you teleport in, we're just going to clear like butchers, taking out the orc to get the key and go up the lift. Once at the top, have your tank take aggro and pull all the mobs on the bridge. If they pull them towards the center of the bridge, the tank can use shield bash to shove them off. The right side of the bridge is usually easier to push mobs off, as the left side has more things for the mobs to get stuck on. If your tank is good and nobody else pulls aggro, he can shove them off all at once. We messed up, but my tank was still in stone guards, so we ended up just clearing half of them. After the bridge, try to hug the right and have the tank pull the mobs down the path to not aggro the caster and the spearman on the left. The hunter will blow a horn and aggro everything within a certain radius, so try and pull him before he does this. We also messed this part up, as it was our first time and our tank still wasn't with us, but hopefully you can see our mistakes and avoid them. The Orc Shadow Elder has been changed a little bit. Instead of spawning shapeshifters and turning you into a sheep, he's instead going to spawn a Shadowmancer and 2 fighters. When the Shadowmancer is channeling, both he and the target connected to him by the purple beam will take no damage until the Shadowmaster is CC'd. Doing so will let you take him out and then get back to fighting the Elder. After the Elder, there's going to be another bridge. Have your tank draw aggro and push the smaller mobs off the bridge, while the rest of the party takes out the key admin. Once you get across the bridge, you can speed up the run 2 different ways. The first way is to have the tank draw aggro, pull them back to the bridge, and shove them off. Or the second way is to have the tank draw aggro of everything, train and kite them while the party runs ahead and takes care of the 3 Shadowmancers. We chose to push them off so we didn't have to worry about them resetting. Just like with Butchers, all the Shadowmancers need to be stunned at the same time. I recommend you pick one orc to gang up on, after they're all stunned, and then take them out one at a time. After that, there's another bridge that you can shove most of the mobs off, but the butcher can't be shoved, so you'll have to DPS him down. There is a Shadowmancer here, so I would recommend focusing him if you don't want to have to worry about constantly having to CC him. When you get to the boss, mark both your healer and tank, and then put a pin in the 4 cardinal directions of the boss. This will make it a lot easier to coordinate with your party. If you don't know how to pin, you can right click on your map the first time and then left click a few times. Make sure to use the party order pins, as you will need the numbers for our mechanic later on. For the entire duration of the fight, you want the tank and the healer to be on opposite sides of the boss, and for the rest of the party to group around the healer. The boss has a few mechanics of note, but most are able to kill you if you aren't careful. For the first boss mechanic, he's going to raise his axe into the air and slam it down, creating a cone of lava that will do a decent chunk of damage per tick. The next one is going to be his fury attack, where he spins his axe in a circle. Just block and you should be fine. One of his most important mechanics requires you to have a certain skill. Whenever the boss says "I'll crush you all," someone in the party will need to apply a frost effect to the boss. This will greatly reduce the amount of damage done by his following AoE. Whenever an orange circle closes in on the boss, you'll have to jump in order to not be stunned. This one won't kill you unless you're low, but it's more of an inconvenience than anything. When he drops burning circles on your party, make sure to run away from them, as fireballs will come from the air, doing a considerable amount of damage. As simple as it sounds, it can wipe you, as it will do most of the DPS and healer's health. His most important mechanic is his wipe mechanic. Whenever the boss yells "die," he is going to pull in you and your party, then a sheep will spawn. Have a tank aggro the boss while the rest of the party blows up the sheep. Once the sheep is down, have everybody but the tank use the crystal left behind. If your tank is low, the healer can go heal him, but you'll need to have at least 4 people on the crystal. If the tank loses aggro, it can result in a wipe, as the boss will be using his lava and fireball attacks. After the boss is below 50% HP, 2 sheep will be spawning, and this is where the pins come into play. Whoever is calling shots for your party needs to call out a pin after the sheep spawn and have everybody burst down that sheep while the tank holds aggro again. Just like last time, use the crystal to avoid getting wiped. The crystal gives you a shield that can block the wipe attack whenever the boss jumps back into the center. I'm going to leave a clip of me beating the boss with my guild so you can hear the callouts. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great one. Fire. Ice. Jump. Sheep. Fire. Crystal. Fire. He's gonna go back to the middle. Regroup. Jump. Fire. Ice. Sheet. Fire. Oops. Fire. He's gonna go back to the middle. Regroup. Jump. Fire. We're spread out. Ice. Don't be a little close. Fire. Sheep. A4. Fire. Crystal. Fire. Center. Jump. Fire. Ice. Sheep. A2. Fire. Crystal. Fire. Center. Jump.